Hello, everybody. First of all, Happy New Year and cheers. It's a pomegranate juice. I'm on a coast, so I can drink alcohol. Um, but hopefully, the new year is gonna bring you a better luck, better wishes of wherever you are meant to be and what it's need to be. There is a lot of good things will happen, but at the same time, we can also have the good things. There is going to be also our impressive, intense changes that is going to be happening into. I promise to make the Astrovibe reports for the new year. I'm going to be making 4 videos. This actually is the very first one. This is going to be from January till April. And we are going to look the things how they are, how the things will change. We already at this moment right now we are in a very rough process. That is the process of evaluation of what happened in the past 5 years. That was ever since we had Uranus to shift into Aries, and now because it's exiting out, we are in the last date of the retrogrades of Uranus, and all that part of evaluation of the sadness. To remind you, the sadness, it's the inner anger of what we not accomplished, what didn't happen, what we have desires to do, what the things are, and that sadness, it will go, it will continue within the new year. This is the current map of what's happening into right now. Yeah, it's my new computer. I had to work pretty much all day yesterday to fix it. So it's a brand new system. I just set it up. So this is today. This is what it's it's going on right now at this moment, and as you see it, this today we are having Uranus that is right here. He is shifting. He is still is retrograde, but in a few days he's gonna begin to climb up, and he goes to move into Taurus. In the last days, then he's gonna be retrograde. I'm gonna be talking more about it. We will see the changes that's going on and what happening into it. The inner sadness is right now that comes in. It's not now. Don't worry about it. Do what you have to do. It comes in that the Sun and Saturn are together in a Capricorn. That is the part of closeness for more important self. You to create the changes inside of you that needs to be done. Those are cardinal changes. This is a cardinal sign in Earth, and this is what our changes are coming. You're going to be more stubborn of doing the changes, doing the things. Specifically, today, the way it is that the moon is in Scorpio. Anytime the moon is in Scorpio, the moon is in the underworld. You see the things under the mask. You see the hidden things of your dark side in yourself, and all including with this energy affects the mood. As you see it, even in the Facebook, even in the media, not very a lot of people posting a positive stuff, or they don't even posting things. Simply because you have to be your truth. You have to express yourself the way you are, of what you are. So this energy is gonna be pretty dominated for the next 2 days. We also have a Venus is in Scorpio. The intense energy is gonna be Mars. Mars is entering Aries, and the warrior entering within the new year. He wants to have what he not conquered. The warrior has a new goal. The warrior has a new part of himself, and the warrior, it's not gonna be working of what everybody says. This energy about Jupiter in Sagittarius, is not going to help the warrior at all. He doesn't worry about what happens, what's going on, what is the situation, it's about anything. The warrior wonder about his own fights, who he is. This is a changes of cardinal self, because this is Mars in Aries, not any other places. It's Aries, that it's I am. And the warrior, it is who he is. The warrior learned the things about the soul. Now the warrior wants actions. He wants to go and move forward. January is going to be an intense month because of Mars is right here. We also have this clouded vision of Neptune, that it's connecting with Jupiter. We're not going to be able to hear what it's important about our growth. What we are looking at it is what we have to close, what we have to complete now in order to move. And that has to do a lot with Uranus. Whatever we wanted to accomplish in the past 5 years, he's going to come back, he's going to hunt you down. So this movement of Uranus, I already made the movie, the video on it. You can go back and you can look at it into it. Those going to be the last days. Those going to be hunting you down over the time, and probably going to feel like something is hunting you now. That energy will come up. So New Year, right? It's not changing too much. Only thing, as you see, the moon is, tomorrow is gonna be moved. It's gonna meet Venus, and if you have a female energy that you feel like you did something wrong, the moon is gonna remind you as a female what you did wrong. That reminder, it's a divine line with Uranus. The universe is gonna tell you, well, you screwed up. Here's a reminder for it. That's also comes in with the Sun, Saturn conjunction, that is going to be exactly at the 11 degrees. A lot of the people, they're going to feel like they want isolations. They want to go ahead and close themselves out. I already talked about Mars. That will continue to move and move on and on into. On January 5th, we are going to have 5 planets in Capricorn, and the moon is going to join this closeness. The moon is going to join these parts. That is a very precious day, by the way. We are going to have this cardinal changes of talk to ourselves. That's going to be Saturn in Capricorn, which is going to be teaching us the biggest lessons in our life. The Sun is there. It's going to be like, okay, well, it's time for you to be stand up on your 2 feet and touch the ground. The Moon is going to be there. It's like, okay, well, it's time for you to ground yourself, because that is the part where you need to focus into. And Pluto's going to be there. So we are having 5 planets in the Capricorn. Those 2, Saturn and Pluto, they're gonna be kind of like traveling together through the year. They're gonna move forward. They're gonna get close, and they're gonna go back retrograde, pretty much within the days from each other. We're gonna watch that down the later on. But in January 5th, the other part is Uranus is going to be the last day of retrograde. Those are going to be your last messages of what you need to learn to do until Uranus is in Aries. As you see it, that energy will exist again. Uranus, though, is going to be shift direct. Now there's going to be these actions. This is going to be the part of you want to create the actions. You want to do something that you not accomplished in the past 5 years. you will feel it inside of you like you want to accomplish. What they have to do though, it's specifically with the female energy, that is a Venus, that it's in Scorpio. Venus was a retrograde in Scorpio. Just so you know, this year of 2019, there will be no retrograde on Mars or Venus. And you will see it. Everybody else is going to go retrograde, but those two, they will not. So keep on going into on January 12th. The moon is going to be joining Mars. Mars already is going to be traveled too fast. It's already on the 8th degree on Aries. As you see it here, we are going to have Mercury and Saturn together. You're going to be looking at that closeness. The energy is going to be affecting you. And it's going to come in from Mars. Mars and the moon is going to be affecting this anger, this power, this inner things of the closeness, of the silence is going to be inside of you, and it's going to be pushed. It's going to put the pressures into it. But there's going to be the positiveness with open up the communications. You want to be able to open the communications with the feminine energy, with Jupiter and Sagittarius, to express of what happened and what was the situation. But Uranus is going to be pointing down on the friends, which is that's going to be a Pluto and the Sun conjunction. So we're going to have conjunction with Mercury and Saturn, conjunction with the Sun with Pluto, and conjunction with the Moon and Mars, and that will be on January 12th. This is going to be preparation for something more that's coming up in January. It's going to be a huge thing, and it's going to be a lot of pressure. This is going to be the preparation for that pressure. The moon is going to be in Gemini. There's going to be a T-square, and the moon is going to be opposing the growth of the expression, and its goal also is going to put pressure of you to stop seeing of the truth, what you need to see. Mercury, it's already with Pluto. That part right there is the darkness talk. It's going to be on into it, but it's going to be create a positive visions if you are able to see into the darkness. If you cannot see into the darkness, then the only thing you will see is anger. That anger actually is going to be expressed, and we are going to see it on January 20th. This anger, this pressure, as you see it on your screens, the only thing that it's actually a positive right now right here, that is Venus Jupiter conjunction and Mars. It's in trine with it. Everything else is going to be pretty much intense. There's going to be this part of anger that needs to be expressed, of really, this will be like a day of revolution. Some of the people, maybe they're gonna take personally, they want to be having a revenge, they want to have something. This is the days that, because this is in Leo, the moon is entering Leo, okay? That's the part of the ego that it comes in with the full force. But on the opposite side, we are having the sun is entering Aquarius, and this is the sun when it says I am a rebel, and we have those two on a complete opposition. This is gonna be also a full moon, so be very wise of what's going on, specifically on the January 20th. Keep your things together. Keep your shit together. Try not to be very expressive of what's going on, because Mercury is gonna be very, very intense into Capricorn with all that's going on around. So going on with that, after all this pressure it's into, on January 23rd we are going to have the moon. It's going to be on Virgo. But it's in Virgo, it's going to be a T-square, this union with Jupiter and Venus. This is like you're going to go against the Zeus and Athena. And that is the part of you have to look the things that you need to heal. And the things that you need to look at the heal, that will be Mercury, who's going to be still into a Capricorn, but also Saturn and a Pluto into. And that's about this one. On January 26th, the moon is going to be in Libra. It's going to be T-squaring the Sun and Jupiter, it's the Sun and Mercury conjunction in Aquarius. This is one of the very rarest thing that from air, the end of the air sign, it's cardinal sign, it's squaring something into the beginning of another air sign, which is Libra and Aquarius. This is calling for a high level of revolt, like rebellion. Specifically that the moon is going to opposing Uranus. Uranus also actually is going to be squaring this. Uranus is going to be squaring Saturn, is going to squaring Pluto. That intense energy is going to be continued for a while. As well, Mars is going to be into this squaring. The only positive thing is going to be here, which is Venus and Jupiter. Express yourself, express the things that it's need to be. February, we are moving now into the February. After all this storm, the Venus is already moving into moon. It's a pretty good with Uranus. It's pretty good shape with Mars. But right now we have the moon join Saturn and Capricorn, and that part of you isolating yourself to rethink the things that you did, to look at the things that's stopping you from evolution, to stopping you from parts, that you need to take a different approach. You need to take retake your actions. You have to make a step back, so in order you to step on something firm, like the Capricorn wants to step into a place where it's firm. Capricorn is the public servants. Most of the Capricorns, they're into the police, they're into they're firefighter, they're doctors, they're the people into behind the politics. They can be up in the secret service that you don't see what they do, what they think, and that part will be triggered with those people, but also is going to trigger inside of you. On February 4th, we are going to have a new moon. That's going to be in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a very special sign from now on. We are in the age of Aquarius. Into the rebellion part, it comes in. That rebellion part will be expressed. A lot of the people will give their voice into I want this is not right, that is not right, I need to be told, this needs to be done, this has to create an actions, this needs to be completely done. That energy will comes in, that energy will be brought in there, and the moon is going to focus on that. February 10th, We have the moon, that it's a conjunction with Mars and Uranus. This is going to be a big shift. That right here is going to be helping Uranus to go ahead and move into Taurus. That's going to be the preparation for this shift. And when a Mars passing together, it's going to create this energy of movement. Those actions that you need to create, that you hadn't created in the past 5 years, there's going to be focus. And the date is February 10th. That is a little bit, a few days before February 14th, which is the Valentine's Day. This is going to be helping you to set up the parts you need to set for yourself for the next period that comes in. February 14th, the moon is going to be in Gemini. This is going to be the date of the duality. It's going to oppose Jupiter, the part right here that we say Mars is going to be moving to Taurus. There's not going to be these tensions right now. The tension is going to be relieved from the warrior internal fights. Right now, the warrior is going to be into, okay, it will take a long time to make me angry, but if you make me angry, just so you know, I'm going to run you like a Taurus. I'm going to run you like a bull. And that energy will be inside. And it's going to be triggered towards Saturn. Not yet to a Venus, but to a Saturn. And the energy is going to be very intense. So try not to do some crazy stuff of it. We're going to be paying attention on Mercury right now, because that Mercury is going to be moved up and up. Now in this position, we're talking about February 17th, when a Jupiter is going to be, not Jupiter, I'm sorry, Mercury is going to be with Neptune. That's going to be clouding your inner vision from a talks. And that talks will comes in from expressions from others. This is going to be a good time you to look at it, the things of yourself, but the moon on Leo is going to be triggering the ego. Very important part, what are you going to listen inside of you? Your ego, or are you going to be listening what you have to do, what you never said, what you never spoken into. We also have Venus and the Saturn conjunction. Venus and Saturn, when they're in conjunct, that is when the teacher teaches the feminine side inside of you. You may be a masculine, but you also have a feminine side, which is soft part inside of you. Into and this cardinal changes that because Venus and Saturn, they are both into Capricorn. Those changes, they're going to be very powerful. Look at what life is teaching you. Look at the things that life wants to show you. Because when things didn't happen, they didn't happen for a reason. You didn't even know, or even not prepare it, or you were not listen when you're supposed to. Because that last parts of teaching is that through restriction, you're learning what the areas you to grow, and that's what Saturn is going to restricting this energy inside of you. February 20th, the moon is in Virgo, healing. There's going to be oppositions of as I said, Mercury with Neptune, so we cannot see what you need to get it done. But throughout this inner knowledge that I just talked about it, where Venus is between Saturn and Pluto, the moon is going to help you to create this part to understand. Some of your close friends, they will come in and they will be like an advocate for you. So they will tell you, maybe you should look this, maybe you should look that, maybe you need to see this, maybe you need to open up yourself for these changes. Maybe that's what you need to do. But if you focus on the energy that you think you should grow into, that part will not be able to work for you. You're gonna be like going against yourself, and you won't be able to heal what you need to heal. What you need to heal is look at it in the place that you never looked before. So the moon moved. It's February 26th. We have this little intense pressures right now from the moon, but we're gonna be monitoring that right here, what's going on in Pisces. We have the sun, we have Neptune, and have a Mercury right there. The moon is triggered all three of them, and we have another 3 planets. They're actually in a Capricorn. This communications between those 3 and those 3, it's gonna be affecting the day with the intense energy of expression. Some people will be doing the mistakes to say the wrong things and prevent their self from growth. And the moon is gonna be intensify this. Be careful how you're talking to yourself. Very important, very crucial part, because the way you tell into yourself will create the actions that you're going to do. Now the moon moves where it used to be Venus is, in the same place. It will remind you of what you have to do. That has a lot to do with the last degrees of Uranus in Aries. That part is going to be moved. That's going to be helping you, okay? It's your last time for your actions to do what you need to do. Next time Uranus is going to be in Aries, a lot of us, they're not going to be alive. We ain't going to be here. So this is the last time you're going to be able to do those cardinal changes of what's going on in life. And as this is happening, which is March 2nd, we're having Venus and the moon entering Aquarius. Now Venus wants to rebel. Now Venus wants to have its own things. Now Venus is like, I understand what is wrong. I have the last chance to do the things right. Some of the female energy is going to be very powerful. A lot of the females, they're going to be, stop. I need to take the time to do the right thing. They will create these rebellion actions of doing the things. If you're a male with a female energy, that's going to be the part of I suppress my feminine side. It's time for me to rise this feminine side so I can be able to be complete as a male. A lot of the males, they hide the feminine side, and that it's hunting them down. They think they're the macho man. Well, you're not a macho man if you don't understand people. To understand people, you need the intuition, and the intuition is your feminine side. So the wise man has an intuition. So make up yourself a note that if you are one of these macho mans, try to listen your intuition. Try to listen your little bit your feminine side of inside of you of what you need to do. And March 5th, we're having Mercury retrograde. This is going to be the first Mercury retrograde for the year. So from January into March 5th, we are not going to have a retrograde period. And retrograde planet. That's going to be the only one planet after Uranus on January 5th actually becomes direct. We are not going to have them. This is going to be the first retrograde planet. So we're talking about January, February, and the beginning of March. So it's like a 2 months. We're not going to have a retrograde planet until Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde turns on a very special day, though, to turn your reevaluation in soul. He does not cross the path of Aries. He is going to stay into Pisces. He is in 29 degrees 39 minutes into Pisces. So there will be no cardinal changes. There is going to be look into the past. Look what you did in the past. Because now in the next day, if you look at Uranus, it's almost crossing over into Taurus. This is 29 degrees 59 minutes at the 0 degrees and 0 minutes. Uranus will cross over and he's not coming back anymore. This is going to be a last minute to do the proper actions from the past 5-6 years changes. This is going to be March 5th. This is going to be a last day. After that, Mars will shift into Taurus, and whatever you deserve, that's what Uranus will serve to you. Uranus represents the universe. Uranus is going to be giving you this part for you. And to moving into on March 10th, we have the moon joins Uranus. Right now that energy is focus. It shows up the teaching, the things that you miss. It shows up the parts of the limitations that you see, what's going on. That's gonna be a lot of the people who's gonna feel like I should have, could have, would have. Too late. Time passed by. Right now, the universe is gonna serve what you deserve. And in those situations, we also have Mercury, who is a retrograde, will intensify that energy. Be patient with yourself. Be forgiving to yourself. You did what you did with the best thing that you know. Whatever you did for you. You did for yourself. On March 15, Mercury is going to be go back and it's going to join the Sun, and there's going to be this sextiles with Mars and also sextile with the Pluto and Saturn. Very good day of you to sit down and do your reevaluation. It's going to be Friday, so if you can be able to take a weekend off, let's say the March 15th, 16th, 17th, go and get away, go someplace out, find yourself for you. Don't focus on nobody else, find the self for you. Go get a hotel room just for you and stay there. Go whatever me time you want, you need for you. On day after, you will see that positive energy. The moon is going to be going into Cancer. All this energy is going to be focused here on you. Lots of inner work. If you're on your own, you're in yourself, you will be focused here. It will help you. There's going to be some intense pressures from Saturn and from Pluto, but that is going to be the part of people that's going to tell you why you're isolating yourself, why you stay away from us. Oh, you should not be. You are doing this for you. You are doing this for your own self. March 29th of it, we're having the moon and Saturn together. Mercury is not going to be retrograde anymore. And this, it's going to be pretty much the end of it, of March. This cardinal change that's going to be done is going to be helping of Mars to crossing over into Gemini, but the warrior, it's completing his mission into Taurus. The warrior, it's understand what needs to do into the material world. The warrior finished the terrible twos as a kid. Now the warrior is going to go forward to deal with people like himself, to see its own twin, to see the others like him. And that we are going to take a look at it in the next video, which is going to be beginning of April and to June. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm going to be making the next one. Happy New Year and be loved.